Is the protagonist lucky or unlucky in the end? Others' transmigration is always full of cheats and golden fingers, but he turned into a piece of clothing worn by a woman. At first, the protagonist Yixiang was just an ordinary underwear small company employee. His abilities were underestimated, his performance was average. Even he himself felt that he was not suitable for this job. Just when he was worried about his future, a bolt of lightning suddenly struck him from the sky. Yes, the evil law of transmigration through lightning has arrived. Just as Yixiang's consciousness began to blur, a voice suddenly came into his mind, offering to give him a new life. Then a large hole appeared in the sky, and the continent he arrived at this time is a place called Alex. But what Yixiang didn't expect was, this world was a place where women were superior to men. Men had to become the armor of women, and women were the true existence of martial gods. Just as Yixiang was falling in midair, in front of a church, two hot-figured women were fighting a duel. The woman in red, called Hongyu, was firmly in control of the fight. After defeating her opponent once again, Hongyu said the other side was too weak, not worthy to stay in the Academy of Heavenly Secrets. At this moment, the woman in white said she didn't want to continue the fight because her battle armor was about to break. Just then, Hongyu bent down and thrust her sword directly at her opponent. After a soft cry, the woman in white could no longer hold on and fell. Her battle armor turned into a stream of light, transforming into a man. He told the woman in white that he couldn't go on. That strike just now had exceeded his limits. At this moment, the woman in white asked him to leave first. Seeing that her opponent let her own battle armor escape first, Hongyu looked down on the woman in white even more. She said that her presence was an insult to the school's reputation. Just as Hongyu raised her sword, prepared to abolish her opponent's cultivation, Yixiang suddenly fell from the sky. Although he shouted for her to get out of the way, he was too fast for anyone to dodge. There was a clang. Yixiang anxiously explained to her. However, Hongyu couldn't listen at this point. She directly entered a berserk state. It turned out that Hongyu was originally a ghost race. Each time she encountered a strong emotional stimulus, she would become uncontrollable. The next second, Hongyu's long sword slashed directly at Yixiang. A dazzling blue and white battle armor appeared on the woman in white. The intense momentum repelled Hongyu's attack. At this moment, Yixiang had become a sphere, completely in a confused state. Then the woman in white asked Yixiang if he was a student of the Academy of Heavenly Secrets, but Yixiang wasn't in the mood to think about these things now. All he could feel in his head was the full and tight feeling. The most important thing was, he was actually just a piece of clothing. However, at this moment, the woman in white was even more excited because of the appearance of this battle armor. She felt her combat skills were revived. The next second, the woman in white launched a skill called Light Slash, knocking out Hongyu with one blow. After resolving the crisis, the woman in white removed the battle armor, and Yixiang was thrown aside. At this moment, the woman in white turned her head to say thank you, and told Yixiang that her name was Greyhead Known. However, at this moment, Yixiang, after experiencing the fusion just now, had been completely exhausted. What he wanted most at this time was nothing more than a piece of clothing. Just as Yixiang was lamenting the unpredictability of life, the instructors of the Academy of Heavenly Secrets had already rushed over, and he was taken as a mysterious person and imprisoned. At this moment, in a room that looked like an office, a harmless and beautiful young lady was interrogating Yixiang. Although he had already confessed to the fact that he had traveled through time, this information was truly inconceivable. Moreover, the place where Yixiang had fallen earlier happened to be the forbidden church of their Tianji Academy. This made the other party have to doubt Yixiang's real purpose. Finally, when the woman was about to torture Yixiang, another woman appeared from behind and stopped the woman's actions. This person was none other than Kleis, the dean of Tianji Academy. She expressed that the other party should not make a fuss and hoped to have a good talk with Yixiang. And most importantly, she brought Yixiang a piece of clothing. After tidying everything up, Yixiang expressed his gratitude and told his story of time travel in its entirety. Only then did Kleis slowly accept the fact. At the same time, she also introduced their continent to Yixiang, where some women living here can turn men into clothes and wear them to gain combat abilities. Their school was a place to cultivate these female warriors. Upon hearing this, Yixiang felt a headache. His previous world was already tragic enough, but he didn't expect that after time traveling, he would become just a piece of cloth. However, Kleis still believed that his ability was not bad. After all, being able to transform into clothing was also an ability. She hoped that he would join their Tianji Academy. But right now, Yixiang had no other options, so he agreed. At this moment, Kleis spoke again, calling out another man named Chendong. She said that he would take Yixiang to familiarize himself with the school environment and undergo a physical examination. Watching the two leave, Kleis sighed softly, and her eyes became serious. It seemed as if she had a premonition about Yixiang's arrival. At this moment, in the school corridor, Chendong excitedly introduced the school's daily life to Yixiang. Slowly, the two came to the examination room. At this point, Chendong told Yixiang that he would go in by himself next, and he would not accompany him. After all, the examination was a tiring thing. Having said that, he left without considering Yixiang's confusion. Yixiang was also bewildered at this moment, and he carefully opened the large door and walked in. The sight in front of him was astonishing, and the glowing devices filled him with curiosity. Just then, a gentle voice suddenly called out to to him. He looked back, and it was a cat-like woman. The two stared at each other in surprise. However, the next second, the cat woman walked towards Yi Xiang, but tripped over a wheel on the ground. With a clang, Yi Xiang was directly pushed down by the cat woman. Looking at the cat ears and tail, Yi Xiang was also bewildered. The cat woman sniffed Yi Xiang, and then asked why he was here. Only then did Yi Xiang nervously tell her about the examination. Upon hearing that he was a new student, the cat woman immediately took him to the examination table. After learning that the examination involved electrical current, Yi Xiang almost regretted and cried. However, at this moment, the cat woman had already pressed the start button. A strong current filled Yi Xiang's body, and the tingling sensation almost made him faint. The cat woman watched the examination table attentively. At the beginning of the examination, everything was normal, and Yi Xiang's combat data remained at 0. Suddenly, the cat woman discovered the anomaly. Yi Xiang's combat data was not 0, but undetectable. Sure enough, the next second, the machine began to malfunction, and Yi Xiang screamed in pain. With a loud bang, the machine that displayed the examination data exploded, and Yi Xiang was thrown to the ground. At this moment, the cat woman looked at him with a puzzled expression, seemingly becoming more interested in Yi Xiang. As he lamented his miserable life, fate seemed to open another window for him. It turned out that through the cat woman's examination, the time-traveling man before her was not ordinary. Yin Dong suddenly appears and takes a picture with his camera. It wasn't until that night when Yi Xiang returned to the dormitory that he learned about it. It turns out that taking photos is both a hobby and a way of making a living for his roommate, Chen Dong. As an apology, Chen Dong treats Yi Xiang to dinner that night. Looking at the strange food on the table, Yi Xiang is speechless. However, since he has traveled through time, he has to adapt to this world and go along with the local customs. At this point, Yi Xiang starts asking Chen Dong about the school. Chen Dong tells Yi Xiang that in the school, women have always had a higher status than men. This can be seen from the luxurious dormitories. Hearing this, Yi Xiang is shocked beyond belief. No wonder when he first traveled through time, the woman named Hong Yu had such a reputation. Seemingly noticing Yi Xiang's unease, Chen Dong tells him not to overthink it and to focus on getting some sleep. With no other choice, Yi Xiang takes a basin to the bathroom. However, the situation is quite the opposite. Just as Yi Xiang is about to change his clothes, a woman calls out to him. Yi Xiang looks embarrassedly at her, even though he knows her as the woman who mistook him for clothing during the day, known as Noun. At this point, Yi Xiang doesn't know what to say and just wants to escape the scene. As he turns to leave, Noun suddenly stops him and says she will wait for him under the tree outside the bathhouse. After agreeing to team up with Noun, Yi Xiang discovers that the so-called simple physical training is actually one-on-one combat training, and his opponent is none other than Hong Yu. Hong Yu is already angry about Yi Xiang's offense the day before, and this time she wants to settle the score. At first, Noun speaks up for Yi Xiang, saying that if she can win, she hopes Hong Yu will forgive him. However, Hong Yu doesn't care about Yi Xiang. She just wants to win the match. Seeing Noun defending him, Yi Xiang is deeply moved and anxiously shouts at Hong Yu. At this point, Noun tells Yi Xiang that when he becomes battle clothing, others cannot see him. Seeing Noun mumbling to herself in the distance, Hong Yu feels somewhat underestimated. The next second, Hong Yu leaps toward Noun, her sword launching a battle technique, cross blood slash. Facing the terrifying blade aura, Noun reassures Yi Xiang not to worry because she can completely block the attack with her current senses. The next moment, Noun's weapon plunges into the ground and a golden light radiates from her body. Yi Xiang, frightened, closes his eyes. However, while launching her battle technique, Noun suddenly feels something is wrong. The feel of her battle clothing today is a bit strange. At this moment, Noun's battle technique is fully charged and starts to unleash. A terrifying golden storm sweeps across the entire field. Just as Yi Xiang opens his eyes and asks if she succeeded, Noun suddenly senses something is wrong. After launching the battle technique, her body, strength, and battle clothing become uncontrollable. She quickly asks Yi Xiang what he did, but he is equally confused. At this moment, Noun suddenly screams danger. A golden storm engulfs all the students present. Chen Dong, watching from a distance, is dumbfounded. In the next second, his nose bleeds profusely. This kind of erotic feeling is probably a once-in-a-century experience. However, at this moment, Hong Yu, dragging her tattered battle clothing, approaches Yi Xiang. She raises her left hand, ready to slap him and teach him a lesson. Noun quickly grabs Hong Yu and explains that it was an accident, but Hong Yu is furious, her veins popping out. She leaves Yi Xiang and Noun behind and storms off. Not knowing how much time had passed, Yi Xiang, lying in the sickbed, slowly opened his eyes. At this point, he was already tired of this strange world life. However, just as he got off the sickbed, wanting to escape from it all, a figure suddenly blocked his way, and this person was none other than the whip-wielding woman Tianxing, who had interrogated him before. Seeing the other party awake, Tianxing was also quite surprised. However, she didn't give Yi Xiang a friendly look, pushing him to one side. She questioned Yi Xiang about his purpose, not only causing the detection equipment to explode, but also allowing Noun to regain combat skills and go on a rampage. Although Yi Xiang had been explaining that he was a time traveler, she wasn't interested in this explanation. Seeing that Yi Xiang still refused to speak, Tianxing slowly approached him, and an earring was quickly clipped onto Yi Xiang's ear. At this point, Tianxing told Yi Xiang that this was attraction tracker they had developed, meaning that Yi Xiang was now completely under Tianxing's control. After completing all of this, Tianxing turned around and left. At this point, even if Yi Xiang was timid, he was unwilling to be someone else's captive. He anxiously chased after her, but Tianxing had already disappeared. Just then, a glowing room caught Yi Xiang's attention. However, when he opened the door, he saw a mysterious man soaking in a huge jar, and this man was the one who had sent Yi Xiang here. Seeing that the other party was just a boy's body, Yi Xiang felt as if his time travel was just a game to someone else. At this time, the man claimed to be a god, just possessing this body. But at this point, Yi Xiang had no energy to complain. He just wanted to return to the real world as soon as possible. At this time, the god told Yi Xiang with a smirk that there was a way to go back. The first step was to obtain the war god qualification certificate. However, before Yi Xiang could continue asking, the god had already slowly closed his eyes, entering a dormant state, leaving a bewildered Yi Xiang roaring helplessly. So, in the following days, Yi Xiang had no choice but to attend classes obediently. However, he also learned from various sources that the war god qualification mentioned by the god should be a certificate that only female graduates can obtain. Thinking about this, Yi Xiang even considered changing his gender. Another unusual character was the cat girl Xiao Bai. After the detection accident last time, Xiao Bai was almost inseparable from Yi Xiang. Everything he said and did was recorded in a dedicated notebook, and this notebook was called the Observation Notes of the Mysterious Pervert Xiang. Seeing this name, Yi Xiang was somewhat speechless. At this time, Xiao Bai told him that after the battle with Hongyu, he had used a mysterious skill to blow up the girl's battle clothes, and pervert was the nickname everyone had given him. Hearing this, Yi Xiang cried out in injustice, but had no strength to refute. He could only sigh and change the subject. He asked Xiao Bai if there was any magic that could turn humans into girls. Xiao Bai directly showed him a physical therapy. Seeing the other party's straightforwardness, Yi Xiang felt a wave of exhaustion. At this time, he began to change the subject again, talking to Xiao Bai about school matters. However, Xiao Bai seemed to be an emotionless machine, and her answers to Yi Xiang's questions were all mechanical. Finally, Yi Xiang felt the conversation was too awkward and decided to leave, thinking that if it weren't for the principal forcing him to clean up, he wouldn't bother with her. But even thinking this way, Yi Xiang soon returned to the testing room after leaving, because as he was leaving, he saw that Xiao Bai's expression didn't look good, and he was worried about her. Sure enough, when he saw that she was living in a messy warehouse, Yi Xiang felt some sympathy for her. Just then, a box on a shelf suddenly fell. In the heat of the moment, Yi Xiang pushed Xiao Bai aside, and he was hit by the box. Xiao Bai looked at Yi Xiang, who had been injured, to protect her, and slowly approached him, gently kissing his injured area, indicating that this would help heal the wound better. This move left Yi Xiang at a loss for words, and at this moment, Xiao Bai slowly began to reveal her heart to Yi Xiang. It turned out that she wasn't like this before, but because someone had protected her and got injured when she was a child, she felt guilty. Additionally, after coming to school, due to her unique abilities, almost every male who served as her battle suit had been injured. She didn't want others to get hurt for her, so she developed an inferiority complex. She thought that by locking herself in the lab and not attending classes or merging with others, nothing would happen. But in reality, she experienced even more. While repairing her battle suit, she had seen too many incidents of boys harboring resentment. However, at this moment, Yi Xiang gave her a completely different feeling from those boys. Yi Xiang said it might be due to the different values of the parallel world. But just as the two were discussing life, a mysterious person in black had already infiltrated the laboratory, and the detector's core slowly grew tentacles. When Yi Xiang returned to the lab, just as he was desperately begging the gods to send him back to the real world, Noun's figure appeared behind Yi Xiang. Seeing Yi Xiang kneeling and kowtowing, the other party also found it strange. Yi Xiang awkwardly told the other party that he was just lost, and quickly turned around and left. Although Yi Xiang was suspicious of Noun's midnight appearance, she no longer had the energy to deal with other trivial matters. At the same time, in the school's detection room, a vine-like monster was quietly spreading. By the time the sleeping Xiao Bai discovered the anomaly, the monster had already spread throughout the school, even attacking the principal's bathroom. Soon, Yi Xiang also discovered the monster in the school corridor, but by this time, Principal Kleis had already rushed over. Upon seeing the monster, Kleis's face was full of worry, as the monster had already subdued Xiao Bai. The next second, Kleis picked up his weapon and charged towards Xiao Bai, slashing off a tentacle with a swift stroke, saving Xiao Bai. However, the monster's regenerative abilities were strong, and the severed tentacle immediately grew back. Just then, more alarm sounds came. Not only here, but other areas of the school were also occupied by the monster. At this time, Xiao Bai told Kleis that the monster grew from the detection core because their school used a detection core made from a monster's heart. It was previously kept dormant by technology. This outbreak must have been caused by someone tampering with it. Although Kleis wanted to find out who was behind it, there was no time to think, as the monster's regenerative ability was too strong. To quickly resolve the crisis, they needed to use Xiao Bai's abilities. Hearing this, Xiao Bai was stunned. Remembering her past experiences when merging, Xiao Bai fell silent. She was afraid that her abilities would cause others to get hurt, which was the main reason for her inferiority and reluctance to merge with others. Just then, Yixiang grabbed Xiao Bai, comforting her not to blame herself, and no matter what happened, she would not be blamed because everyone was waiting for her abilities to save the school. Perhaps moved by Yixiang's sincerity, Xiao Bai agreed to give it a try. Then, Xiao Bai's fingers tightly clasped Yixiang's, and the two slowly floated into the air. The next second, a cool battle suit appeared on Xiao Bai. At this time, Yixiang could also feel the slight nervousness from Xiao Bai, as he was very close to her. Yixiang comforted Xiao Bai while asking her to focus. After relaxing, Xiao Bai raised her weapon and aimed at the monster's roots, initiating the countdown to charge her attack. After the energy was fully charged, a powerful force rushed straight towards the monster's core, blasting countless tentacles into debris. Upon landing, Yixiang was also excited, as he was not injured this time.